Today is a bit of a weird one. We're at home today. I am doing some work on my own projects and whatnot. It's a very wet and miserable day today. And it is, what was that noise? And it is like absolutely slammed it down all night as well. So it's very miserable. And I've got to head on out at some point as well. And I'm not really sure what to wear because it's so wet that I feel like I need to wear my waterproof, but my only waterproof is my winter coat. And it's still like really warm and like humid. So yeah, Laura headed off to work today and I am chilling out at home until my business thing later. It's a bit of a business meeting. Gonna go talk to someone about effectively like advice. They're like a growth incubator kind of thing. We're gonna go see what they have to say, if they have any wise words of wisdoms for me, but it's being put on by my office, my virtual office, which is why I'm off today. But yeah, so it's going to be a fun one. The good news is as well, we had Domino's last night, so I get to have Domino's for lunch. That's exciting. Yeah, I need to figure out when I need to leave, but I think I need to leave around like just before 10 o'clock, I'm thinking. Since it's in my office, I can just go into my office and wait for that to happen, basically. But it's at 11 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm just chilling out at home. I'm having a little working from home day, chilling out some shit, trying to get into the zone on that. But I've just finished off the domain part for the thing I've just been working on, and I'm moving on to the next thing along, which is, well, no, it's just the consumer to hook it up, basically, and then feed that back into the Saga. And then I believe I'm done for this aspect of it. There's like other bits that I need to sort out as well in this area, but I think I can move on out of this area now, which I might put it up for pull request and then code review it myself and make sure I've not missed out anything. It's actually somewhat annoying. I was kind of hoping to have a day where I could just churn out some code. It's gonna feel less productive than it should do because of the kind of work I'm doing, but it is still all important work. But by the end of the day, I should have everything merged in, ready to rock and roll for the next aspect, which I think is going to be a new microservice, which is exciting. I haven't written a new microservice in a long time. Every single time I go to use my freaking Kindle, it's always dead. It's also desperately wet, and so I don't want to get my laptop out on the bus because I am soaking. It's tipping it down all day, goddammit. I should be in town plenty of time. This bus is flying in because there's no rush hour traffic or anything dumb like that, you know? So I should be able to sit down in my office, do a little bit of work. I nearly pushed myself late because I was like, I need to get this bit done. And I was like, oh, there's this little bit more, oh, there's this little bit more, oh, there's this little bit done. But it's good now. Gucci. I'm being followed by the smell of hot cross buns and it smells really freaking nice. God damn. But I'm about half an hour early, so I'm going to get half an hour amount of work done. That guy there is wearing flip-flops and shorts in the rain. That was a really good, productive session. It was like a talk with someone from like a growth kind of, not really, what are they called? Innovation hubs, kind of, not a accelerator thing. It was really interesting, like sounds like that's a good contact to have. And we're going to be discussing loads of different things that will be good for me, which is grand. Also, I really like working in the office. It's really nice. It's something about like just being around people and like listening to everyone else work is really productive. It's a shame it's so expensive. You get something, I still instinctively like try and cover up the camera from getting wet. I get something like 10 hours for free. And also, how windy is this? It's quite windy. I can feel the wind hitting the back of the camera. So yeah, I get 10 hours at that office for free. I realise how much of a burk that hood makes me look, but it's raining. 10 hours at the office for free every month with my membership and my paying for the office for my business purposes. But then after that, it's something like £3 an hour or £20 a day. That's a lot of money, man. That's £400 a month if you want to use it every day. Whew. Damn. But I think it will be something that I'll use. There's quite a lot of stuff that they put on there that is good for me anyway. So I'm going to try and go to some more of those things. But also I might use it if I start to get a bit crushed working from home all the time, you know. I'm going to see if I can track down an umbrella and then a card and then go home. I always lose umbrellas, but I can't wear this coat all the time, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I thought about getting a hot chocolate while I was in town, and to be fair, if I had my travel mug with me, I probably would, but I'm not going to. It's saving that money. What an unnecessary purchase, considering I'm going home and having pizza in a minute. It's because there's free coffee and free coffee machine in the office, but it was broken, and I was gonna have a hot chocolate from that, but it was broken, so they only had tea and coffee. I'm like, I'm not that bothered. But you know when someone says something's an option, and now I want it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have had a hot chocolate if I hadn't thought about it, having it there. It's card shopping. I hate card shopping. God damn, I made it home. I'm starving. I had to go via Sainsbury's on the way back to pick up some juice because they didn't have any when we did the online shop. Which is interesting. But that meant even after being a good boy and resisting getting a hot chocolate or what have you from town, I then had to put myself through the trauma of walking past a bakery that does really nice cakes and stuff. And I'm like, no, Jamie, go home, eat your pizza like a good boy. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the best way to do pizza. I'm sure you can hear my belly grumble there. Dry frying pan, cold pizza, beautiful. It is not half nippy in this house, ladies and gentlemen, but I've had my tea, my lunch. I've done the washing up and whatnot, and I am now settling down to make a pull request so that I can do all of this stuff. I think that's the logical place to stop now before I start the next branch. This PR is already massive. This is like it's chucking it down with outside. It's freezing as well compared to what it's been like recently. But Laura's plants are getting watered well good and proper. Yeah, I've been like, the last thing I did was one of them things where it needs a lot of stuff and there's no real way to split that work into smaller chunks. And that unfortunately means I now have to go through 86 files and review them. But like I say, you should always review your own stuff, even if you did it. Even if no one else is going to look at it ever again. You review it, make sure you're happy with it. And I've also got hiccups. Yeah, what lads, I had a cup of tea all fucking day. All day. And it's time for that brew. My God. Really productive stuff. I've got some minor changes to make to my pull request, which means that I can test how my program deals with updates because it's listening to its own pull requests, if that makes sense. So that's pretty good, actually. I'm kind of happy I found some stuff. It's only minor stuff. But yeah, so make myself a cup of tea and then kick up a new pull request, capture the event that raises via, there's a lot of moving parts to this, man, and it's only going to get more complicated. When I throw in the next microservice is going to be responsible for controlling like a swarm of workers. So that's going to be a microservice that manages other services, unless I might, to be honest, offload some of that to functions, to some Azure functions, but we'll see. There's a lot going on, basically, is what I'm saying. But yeah, we are gonna make myself a brew, warm up a little bit, and then we'll head back up, test the update thing, merge the PR, pencil out what I need to do. I've been making notes during the PR of all the things all of the edge cases that I've deliberately left, to make sure, and I'll check my backlogs to make sure I've raised tickets for all of them, because I don't want to forget any of them. Some of them look quite important. Like, for example, I don't yet know what happens when you complete a pull request. I'll find that out in a minute. But I'm assuming it does what it just kind of abandons it, you know? But I'm assuming it tells me about that. If not, then that's going to be a pain in the goddamn ass. So I've been hoping to know the difference between kind of like successfully closed and dropped entirely. I should be able to figure that out. But yeah, then I'm like trying to make a note of all the things that are like, these are annoying, need to fix them at some point, versus this is important, we need to do that at some point, and this is nice to have, need to do that whenever we get the chance. Guys, you know how bloody great it is, right? When you've got all these moving targets, yeah, you've got all these moving bits and they've all got to work together. You've got all these microservices, all their own thing, you've got Azure functions, you've got an external platform you can't control, and then you line up all the code, and you're just like, right, let's run it through first time, and it's just like, straight fucking through, all the way through, doesn't even touch the sides, it just goes straight through, smashes the target, dead center. God damn, it feels so goddamn good. Literally, like the initial run through only fell down because of an issue with Mongo where I misdid my projections and unwinding stuff, where I was messing around with trying to pull out a very specific thing. I had to jiggle around with the data structure because it found out what I was doing technically isn't possible. That was the first problem I had, and then even that went straight through. But because of that stutter, it was really annoying to prove it was straight through. But this time, god damn, it was just like, oh, nice. So yeah, now I can accept my PR and check what webhooks get fired at me, because I don't know what it's going to do. Hopefully it does something. But yeah, god damn, I've turned off my function so that my function's not going to process all of the things that are about to go on it, and I can see the messages in flight. Oh, that is bliss, mate. That is goddamn bliss. I've reminded myself what it does. I've just completed my PR. It does kick back an updated event with the status to, sets the status to completed. And I knew that at the time because I had to shape my, the way that I interact with the API to work that way. So I got the data, man. It doesn't matter. The question is whether or not I can consume that differently based on, I could do it from the function instead of from the microservice. It might be better to do it from the function. Effectively, it doesn't matter a great deal. Well, no, it does. Does it? No, it doesn't. Cool. Right, well, I've got my little list. That's that piece of work done. Bang! And now we can move on to the next bit, which is arguably a lot more important, but this is the input, you know? Now it's the meat. Now it's the fucking, oh, fuck it, I was trying to be funny there. Don't ever try to be funny, Jimmy. Back to work today, and this is the first day I'm gonna do actually writing code for the front end, which is JavaScript, or the back end, which is Cold Fusion. So it's gonna be fun. Just gonna have a dive around to see what I can do. But I think we've got a new person starting today, a new tester. So I might befriend them, see how we go. Having said this, no one knows where they're gonna sit. They might be sat in my seat. So we'll find out. They better not be actually, because the person I sit next to is probably the only good thing about going to work at the moment, so. Everything else is just so goddamn boring, you know what I mean? Thankfully, guys, they didn't move me. They wanted to move me, but I was defended. I seem to remember saying about I might have been moved, but I've not been moved. Woo! Today was a day investigating some issues with something I wrote when I first got there. I inherited when I first got there. And it was a good old-fashioned reboot it and it'll work. Love those kind of problems. But we are home now. We're also getting ready to prep a deployment. That's not what password that is. So I believe we've deployed the microservice now, and we're ready to deploy the rest of the code that integrates with the microservice. I have an ever-growing to-do list. Ever since my meeting yesterday, I've just got a shitload of emails to reply to and process and do things about. And I just need to do that. I just need to churn out some work for it. You know what I still haven't figured out is a way of keeping track of everything that I've got. There's like, it's so scattershot. That's the thing. Like I've got this book here, this book which I've used to put things in, but I obviously don't have that with me all the time. And I'm like, all of these things are so niche. There's no like logical way of grouping it all that isn't just on a notepad that I'm gonna lose, or I'm not gonna have with me all the time. You know what, I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna use Google Keep. Fuck it. It's the most normal one. I can use the tags to keep it. I don't even use Google Keep legitimately, so it's just that I just need somewhere I can just throw things, you know? And I've kind of got Asana for some stuff where it's like more task orientated. And then I've got OneNote for like drawings and architecture stuff, for like code-based stuff. And then I've got VSTS for like implementation detail stuff, for like code-based, like not architecture-based, but like code-based wiki-style stuff. And I've been talking about this for so long, like, for a semi-decent amount of time, I've been talking about, oh, what kind of thing can I use to put notes in? And I can't fucking figure it out, and it's just gonna have to be Google Keep. It's just gonna be the way it is, boys. Asana is like my version of Trello. For some stuff, and for like code stuff, it's all different things. Oh, I just started sneezing. The hay fever just kicked in as I came upstairs there. I've been investigating, I've tidied up all the stuff, I've investigated all the things I've been supposed to investigate, well, except that one thing. I need to look into some of my to-do list for tomorrow. There's a lot of reading for that thing. I've been looking up all of the things that I've been told to look up that have been pointed in my general direction, taken notes on some of them, archived some of the ones that I want to look at later, and all that kind of shit. And then I've spent a significant amount of time investigating what makes a slide deck. Because that sounds like something that I don't know anything about. And it's probably something that's supposed to be good. But what I'm probably going to do is get it set up so that I can NFC it. So if I ever need to share it with someone, I could just be like, hey, you got NFC? Boop. That'd be pretty dope, right? Or is that a bit old news? You're old news! I think what I'm struggling with right now is I'm so busy at home, and yet I go to work and I'm not busy. And it's like such a like a lull. And it makes me feel like I'm even less busy than I am at work, you know? God damn. But I need to investigate 2 things today. And start something in anger tonight. I've taken some notes on it. I'm going to try and do a little bit of that, and we'll work in the inevitable downtime as well. I'm hunting to fix something, but I don't think they'll let me fix it. I don't know, I think it's in their best interest for me to fix it, but I mean, when I say that, I'm using the word fix, right? So there is a problem. I had an even stranger day today, because today I couldn't open Chrome or Chrome-based spas, so Gmail, without it just instantly restarting my computer or blue screening it. And then to add spice onto that fire, if I was using any like Electron-based app like Slack or Visual Studio Code, there was a chance it would kill it. So if I clicked open on an app, there was a chance it would just go bang like that. Chrome would instantly do it every single time. The other ones would go open. Okay, that seems to be usable. Okay. Open, bang, no, you're out. It was so bizarre. I had IT, obviously I'm part of IT, but IT come and have a look at it. We don't know what the problem is there. It seems to be something to do with the Chrome install. We've tried to like uninstall it, and like there's like weird group policies and stuff that are around it. But yeah, it's somewhat really irritating, especially because I'm writing Cold Fusion code at the moment, which is in VS Code, not Visual Studio. I might have to get another text editor, just because every now and again, if you open up a repo, it just goes bang, and then you've just lost it all, boy. But yeah, so there's that. Otherwise, I'm home. I spent a bit of time today watching literally a bit, because I kept losing my fucking progress through it, watching Pluralsight videos on how to do a pitch, because the things I know I'm not very good at, like in general, the thing I'm not very good at is networking. But the things I know I'm not very good at is kind of like a marketing style kind of aspect. I've done a lot of reading. I know the kind of business plan and business strategy and what I want to do and what I want to know, but I know that I have some like inherent weaknesses. And I'm not very good at summarizing quickly what it is that I'm doing. And I think that's natural for people from a technical background to start talking about the technical features and whatever and how it works. And when really you should be talking about like the problem and why it's worth the money and all of that kind of stuff. So I've been like watching videos and trying to learn how to pitch both elevator style and short pitches. And I had a phone call from someone today who wanted to organise a meeting with me next month, by the looks of it, because I can't organise any time sooner than that. Who is basically like a kind of like a growth hub kind of place. It's kind of all kicking off. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's all kicking off, and it's kind of kicking off a little bit earlier than I was half expecting it to. And I'm kind of trying to press the brakes a little bit. Be like, I don't actually have that much time available to me this side of when I leave work. There's loads of stuff I could do after I've left work. Loads. I'm free every day. But I have to like arrange days and stuff. And it just gets a little bit more complicated, you know. Oh, I just turned the volume down on that. I don't know how loud it was. Sorry, Laura. So yeah, there looks like there's going to be another day coming up where I might have to. Well, no, I will have to go to a meeting to discuss basically what they can offer and what I need and all that kind of stuff. Whew. It's fun, but it's a bit daunting because, like I say, I'm at work and I don't really have anything, especially today, because my computer would shut down at random. But, oh God, I've got a hiccup. It's daunting because all that time I'm spending at work not really doing much. I'm like, I could be doing this, I need to do this. And I'm now coming home and I'm like, right, I need to do this thing, which I know is going to take me a long time. It's going to take me a while to do it. I need to do it relatively quickly, and it's something I'm not very good at. And I just kind of want to do it, and it's really frustrating. But I'm also not really doing my sleeping pattern at all. So I'm kind of like really limited on time in a really big way. I feel like I might have to, as all of this stuff starts to ramp, go back into my sleeping pattern just so that I can basically like keep on top of it. This is like kind of where I'm at, where like the problem is. Because I need to... This is why I came to the point where I've got to leave my job. There's so many things that I can't do while working an office job that I need to do before I can even get to the point where I'd be comfortable enough to quit my job, you know? So I've got to take that kind of risk. The problem being that a big part of my brain is like, you just need to do development stuff. Any work I do that's not on development stuff does feel like a waste of time. Because I know at the end of the day, I need to have a proof of concept running and a working product for a niche subsector of the market by a certain time and date, if I have any hope. Oh man, anyway. You know what? I think I've done all right. My usual tactic, I've got a lot further than I thought I would. My usual tactic doesn't really work though, because my usual tactic for when I don't know what to write is just write shitloads. Is just start typing and then let your brain go onto autopilot and just like type everything you think and then just edit it till it makes sense. That's normally what I do. That doesn't really apply to like presentation style things, like things that are small where you can't just get a shitload of That's why my blog posts are always really long, because I write a load of stuff and I like most of it. Or I like think of some jokes and I'm like, oh, let's see if I can tweak that in. Because things that I say, the things that I think end up being the things that I write. And they're not necessarily things that you'd normally write, you know, or what you'd normally expect. So it's a little bit different, but that doesn't work when you're writing something small like a slide deck. But yeah, I'm going to finesse it over the next couple of days. But I feel like I've got like the skeleton. It just needs a bit of polish, spit polish. Get Laura's insight on it tomorrow. Yeah. So otherwise, I'm going to end this video, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's getting a bit long. So what else did I do? Oh no, yeah, just that. It's also annoying because you spend basically 2 hours writing 8 sentences. And then even then look at it and go, I think I've got too many sentences. So, who knows, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I am going to bounce. I'm going to head off to bed. And I will catch you later.